Shalom, brother and sister truth seekers. Gonna try and recap the data collected on the 20th of March 2025. Please check out this Facebook group for live updates. People are uploading their data. It's been a big day of data, just data coming in left and right all over the place. Anyone who's not familiar with these end of the day summary videos, I'm just trying to make people aware of what data is available. I'm not saying anything conclusive. When all the data is in, I will follow up like maybe in another day or two from now and come out with like a final summary video where I am actually looking at the best witnesses and trying to piece together a conclusion. So we're just going to fly through this data. It's very late here. We're just going to take a look at some of the highlights and make you aware of kind of who was doing what and where. And please, if your data is missing, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. But also stay tuned for the more in-depth look at this data that will be coming later. So without further ado, had Asher. Okay, he had 8 points of data, and I am gonna fly through these. Maybe we'll look at the ones that are over. Anything under 8 hours is unfortunately it's too close to tell for an Equinox event. I can't say anything conclusive, but it is there. All these pictures are available to you to take a very close look at. If you check the description below this video, there is a link for a shared Dropbox folder. It will take you to this directory that has all of these pictures in it, organized by the month, by the day, by location, time zone, and people. So you can find anything of interest you're looking for. And take a closer look at some of these that I might be zipping through. But yeah, 9 hours of data looks pretty straight. That was in New Zealand. Tara had 9 hours of data. She believed it was straight. Let's look at this. It's a Word document note that I made myself. So I guess her actual, with North Arrow, her actual data must be in here. Okay, red points. Oh, okay, actually looks like a couple are, now with this, yeah, some are on, some are off. It's close. And it's a little tricky when people are south of the equator. Can't get my mind wrapped around it. Okay, maybe I can. Maybe I can't. I have to think about this because I'm trying to figure out if these points are in a position. I think I need the north arrow. One of these pictures had the north arrow. Where's the north arrow? North is up here. So the points north is on the same side of the line as the gnomon. So I want to go back to this data set. So north, I guess, is up. North is up by gnomon, yes. All right, so that means some of these points are on the line, some of these points are off the line. So consider that. South Africa. Oh, this was a neat sundial. We'll just take a quick look. He printed this on a metal sheet, and he's looking at the shadow. He had faint shadows today. But essentially, I guess it follows the pattern of these shadows. I can't say anything conclusive about this, but what I've learned just by getting a little bit familiar with this is I think the morning and the evening points are going to be the most critical to look at. And I don't know how late he's able to get and how early he's able to get, but those are going to be the ones that kind of jump substantially. Things are really tight at solar noon, so I imagine this might look like it's in the right spot for a couple days in a row. But it'll be in the early morning and late evening that you see just how close it is out here. That's just something to keep in mind. you ever try something like that. So we had data from Italy. Unfortunately, it was 8 hours of data. So we're going to keep moving, but you can take a closer look. Okay, 10 hours of data. Oh, so this was potentially good, but I need clarification. There is a Word document with a Dropbox link in here. If you click on that, it'll take you to all their data. They documented everything very well. It's a little bit of information overload, but if you're curious to see more, um, it's all in there. They had 10 hours of data. Seems like it has a lot of potential, but I just don't know what's going on here. I see different color ink, uh, and so like that one's blue, and I tried to pull. They've got this string, but it looks like it must be draped around the points. We want to make sure we're pulling our string from the first point of the day to the last point of the day. That string needs to be straight. We can't let it get caught on any of the points between. Just ignore those points between, and make sure your string is perfectly straight between those 2 points. Sometimes that might be hard to do if you've got multiple pins in your board. It might be best to pull all the pins out just to make sure you're getting a perfect straight pull. But yeah, I'm just not sure what's going on. I see these what appear to be blue marks up here. They're just marks all over the board, different color ink. I just can't say what's going on here. But 10 hours of data, it seems like it has potential if we can clarify what's going on. Angie in the Isle of Wight. Okay, she had 9 hours of data. We'll take a peek at this one. It looks pretty straight. And we had some truth seekers that were very excited. I guess they're also in the UK. Oh, yeah, they had this beautiful setup. They drove for like an hour to a mountain to find this beautiful place. And I guess we'll look at one of them for example if we can, maybe. It's opening on the wrong screen. Maybe I'll get it to come. So I have actually requested they send another picture with a finer string, because that fat screen where unfortunately string where I'm not able to see the fine points. So North Carolina, we had a half day. Oh, but I think he had another set of data from the 19th that we will get to in the final summary video, but it was good. It was like 9 or 10 hours of data. Unfortunately, Raul only had 6.5 hours of data. Virginia, what's going on? 9 hours of data. Some points above the line, question mark. Guess this is it down here. And so north is where? North is up here. So these points, I guess, are either on or above the line. Central USA, Iowa, 10 hours of data. Points are north of the line. Oh, I think I remember this data set. It has been a long day. Yeah, I remember this one. So you kind of got to look close. I think they have a video that they did a very good job, but you can see there's a point and they kind of disappear, and then you can kind of see the point reappear. This is kind of messy to look at. They got a lot going on there. But here, so you can see point, then they disappear behind the level, and then they come back out here, point. So they've got a little bit of a curve here. And what did I say? Where's north? Yeah, see, they got a video, 2-minute video where they do a nice little job. Maybe they can post that on YouTube. But if you have any questions about it, I can get you in touch with them. But yeah, it looked points were either on the line or they were north of the line. Actually, points are these were definitely north of the line. So we're definitely seeing a curve, and this is 10 hours. It's solid. Louisiana, 10 hours, and they look straight. By the way, if I didn't mention it, it's kind of another day where it seems like data is uh, inconclusive. I can't say what's going on yet. I'm going to have to look at everything and think about it. But Some people are saying straight, all kinds of things. They're seeing every kind of pattern. But I mean, this is another solid data set. Like I can't find any reason why this is not solid. It's 10 hours of data, and it looks pretty straight. So what are we gonna do, Minnesota? 10 hours of data. Points are north of the line, taller gnomon. Let's zoom in on that. Okay, so north is up. And yeah, so these are pulled and these are little, kind of a little wobbly, but they're really all above the line. Montana. Oh, brother. Is this from today? No, this was from the 19th. I think I forgot to delete it because I put his information in the 19th. But let's take a peek because it was just so good. Maybe. I think there was more information in the Word document. Maybe it told us what times of day. But it was over 10 hours of data. And what do I say here? The points are straight or north of the line. That was the 19th, though. So I think I'm going to delete that one from here. Mississippi had a lot. I don't know what these are. Are these armilleries? Yes, armilleries. So take a look at those. I'm not an expert in armilleries, so if someone is, feel free to speak up. This one was 9 hours of data. Could be straight, but fat pin shafts. So big pin shaft pushes the line to the right and potentially away from these points. Maybe it would have been right on top. Can't say for sure. Just something to keep in mind for next time. Man, I'm having, unfortunately, yeah, I'm going to have to fly through unless it's 9 or more hours. But thank you for your efforts. This is another one that I saw on the Facebook page, but I had no timestamps, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. Oklahoma. This was exciting to see. This is actually Lee from the Jerry Morris channel. If any of you remember Jerry Morris, Lee and Jerry Morris were like partners, and they would. I mean, really, for me, that's what started all this Sundial journey, was seeing their videos years ago. And so that was just exciting to hear from him and see he's still at it. But here's his information for those who are artillery experts to analyze. This is from Texas. Oh, this was the last one I looked at. 9 hours of data, looked straight, but I'm not sure how the points interact with the line. So this is against a wall. So it's good to be aware of that. You can do these. It's important that your recording surface is flat, but it doesn't need to be level. It can be at an angle to a wall or any angle, but it's important that things are flat. But people are getting the same straight pattern. It's just I can't, just the way they took this picture, I can see that one's off the line. I don't know. I think they had a close up. It's on the line there, so I don't know if the string is hanging on the line. I don't know if they pulled a true straight line between them. So I'm asking for another photo so I can drop a line, my own line, because I can't see the bases, the actual points there. So that needs to be confirmed. Moving on west, Arizona, 9.5 hours, appears to be straight. Appears to be straight. And we say, take that home, chew on it. 6 hours of data, 10 hours of data. Oh, one of these was the wall mount. He had a wall mount too, but only got 6 hours of data on it. This one, he got 10 hours of data, points on the line or north of the line. Okay, on the line or north of the line. And it's good that he's mentioning that things are blurry, because that's important. we don't want to compromise our data readings. If it's blurry and we're just not sure, you should do something to let people know you like. One thing I do is if the shadow is really blurry, at any time I'll say like a percent, like it's like only 80% full shadow, like it's only a part shadow. Like giving us an indicator like this is definitely a good practice, because maybe what you might end up doing is needing to wait until you get a point that you're sure is 100% good, and then from there you look at your data for the day. We want to make sure we are sure about the points that we're using to define our data. And if there's any question because of blurriness or whatever, definitely want to make people aware of this. So this was Remnant of Light. They had 9.5 hours of data, so this is potentially a solid data set. But I am going to ask if they could repull or replace their level or their straight edge for us one time tomorrow morning, or I guess later this morning. So they do have our Milleries as well. They were thinking these were showing Equinox readings today. Let's go. So my question and what I'd like to ask them to do, as I look through, they have this video, you can check it out on their YouTube channel. So it looks like, what do I say, this point here is kind of bisected. These couple points here are bisected by the straight edge, but by the end of the day, these ones are not. So just want to, so I don't know, like if they were to pull this uh, ruler, sorry, it's been a long day, I just really tired, whatever you want to call this meter stick, measuring stick, if they pull it and they center it on this point like they centered it on the first point, or I don't, this point even looks like lower, but I mean if they do that, if they pull it half a point over, how do I go back? It almost looks like these midday points would be totally gone under the ruler. So I would ask Remnant of Light to if they could drop this back on and make sure this is centered, and maybe take like a picture of the thing centered, like one overall picture, and then one of it centered. Take one close up of the midday points and one of the starting point, just so we can confirm what that looks like when we're picking consistent areas of the points. Like if we're to the side, then we want to make sure we're to the side on the last one. If we're in the middle on this one, we want to make sure we're in the middle on the last one. And I think it's a good idea to thread the needle, go to the middle point, would be my recommendation. And then we have this coming from Hawaii. 10 hours of data. It's solid. And she also had a good data set come in at the end of the day on the 19th. But I had just I just finished the end of the day summary video prior to receiving it. Tonight I was up late processing data, so she got this to me before I made the video. But she's got, I think, both the 19th and the 20th, so you kind of got to watch out. I drew an arrow here for one of the ones at midday. This is from the 20th, and it is above the line. So that is it for now. It was a big day. There's a lot of information here to chew on, and really it's hard to say anything conclusive. I'm probably gonna start trying to map out the solid witnesses and see if there's any patterns. I mean, it's just kind of splattered all over, so at this moment I really couldn't tell you what's going on, except for what I saw in West Virginia. But we'll also be on the lookout for any more witnesses coming in tomorrow that can show, like, pretty much they should all be showing flipped curve at this point, but we'll see what comes in. We'll do one more summary video, and then probably try and do that final summary video as soon as I can get my head wrapped around things. So if your data is missing, please let us know. We'll get it added. And feel free to join the Facebook group and upload your stuff directly there, and be able to keep tabs on things as they happen live. So shalom, and may Allah bless you as you continually seek out His truth and love with a pure heart. Gotta go down there.